Paintball presents the 2012 Super 7 Series. The first game on Saturday started out with Apocalypse versus Explicit. Explicit utilized both the snake side and the center of the field to control the most part of the match. Both teams had one American import, Fez Sakaki for Apocalypse, and Bobby Aviles for Explicit. Explicit proved to be more prepared that morning by tearing down the snake side and shooting out the chicken wings.
Chicken wing alert! Hold on. Chicken wing!
Explicit gets the 4-1 victory with the help from their import, Bobby Aviles from LA Infamous.
Great game. Our guys came out strong. We picked it up basically where we left it the last event. We tied to go on for first or second with a three-way tie with SWAT and Hostile. How the point spread worked, I guess we didn't make it in. Ended up playing third or fourth. Picked up the third place, hopefully here. Got the first.
Next match, the top two teams of 2011 square off. Sydney SWAT goes up against Hostile Intentions. Hostile came out a little too aggressive, took a big core sample out of the ground on a bad dive to the snake. They also took out some aggression on Scott Martin of SWAT by giving him a little bonus to the shoulder, throat, chest, arm, head, wrist, and face. After that, SWAT turned it around, shooting several Hostile players off the break and containing Hostile.
Hostile, it's usually probably one of our hardest games. They were number 2 last year, and playing those guys today, we walked out, we were getting 2-3 Gs off the break almost every game, and we just had our lanes up. Especially with the boys running down that snake, we just kept them out, pushed down the snake, and yeah, we lit them up.
Final score is 4-1. Next up, we have Raw versus Hustle. In a close match, Raw takes the lead, winning the first 2 games, the second of which was a long one-on-one. Hustle came back with the next 2 points and tied it up, but in the 5th game, Raw made a move up the middle in the closing seconds and pulled out the victory 3-2. One team that has moved up from the semi-pro to the pro division is Uprising A.
Yeah, just jumped to pro, thought it was time we move on and develop a bit. First game we're up against X-Fighters. We basically just said, we've got nothing to lose, we're an unknown quantity, and we just play our game, be aggressive, and won 4-0, which is a pleasant surprise. Maybe shake up a few people, maybe people might start taking a closer look at us now, so might have to be a bit more circumspect about what we do and make sure we just stick to our game plan, don't die early and make them earn a point if they're going to take it.
Uprising wins their first game in the pro division 4-0. Following that is SWAT versus Explicit.
Well, we just played Explicit and pretty much did exactly the same thing back to us. We sort of forgot what we did game 1. They started running to corners, just locking us down, getting in the snake, hustling all the way from snake 1 to snake 5 just straight away and shooting all this in the back. And Bobby Aviles, that kid's super fast. You got to take your eyes off him for a second and he's in your end of the snake, just shooting you all in the back. So.
Two pretty solid wins, so it's looking good, but it's very early days, so we've still got a lot more matches to go.
It didn't go so well, a couple of penalties, things like that. We ended up losing that one 4-1, but we think we're in with a shot with all the next teams. We're pretty confident.
John Raba from X-Fighters started out with a sweet move, losing his hopper on the break.
Bus ticket, leaving at 3.
After figuring out how to attach it to his gun, John got to work down the snake. The Hustle players were no match.
We just played Hustle. We beat them 3-1, I think. Our first game, we lost 4-0, so we've had to change me from bottom side up the snake. We run a couple guys down. We changed out the Dorito run and changed 2 lanes up the front. So yeah, we changed a few things in the last couple games, or in the last game. So we're still working it out.
X-Fighters come out with their first win of the day. Explicit started out the day with 2 wins, but Raw surprisingly put an end to their hot streak.
Oh, what happened? We're just doing awesome at the moment. We've changed some game plans and attacking down low, and things are going really well. We just mainly beat them on the bottom side, which was awesome. Down there, we've kept away from there a little bit and been pulling up to the snake, but no, we tried the bottom and we just seemed to push them through.
Have they all been wins?
No, we've lost. We don't want to talk about losers, just the winners.
Okay, cool. Right, excellent.
Explicit received a penalty, then allowed Raw to hit the buzzer during a one-on-one. A bad move in the snake, and Raw is up 3-1 with 30 seconds left. In a last-ditch attempt at getting 2 points in 30 seconds, Explicit got their heads blown off. Raw wins 3-1. Next up is Apocalypse versus Hostile Intentions. Hostile took an early lead from getting quick eliminations off the break and then moving aggressively down the field. With the score 3-1 and 2 minutes left, Apocalypse changed gears and nearly tied this one up. As the final seconds ran out, Hostile lost their players, but there wasn't enough time to hit the buzzer. Final score, Hostile 3, Apocalypse 2. Moving on, veteran team Sydney SWAT takes on newcomer Uprising A.
So it's Uprising A, they're the team from stepped up from semi-pro. They put up a pretty good fight, but we still beat them 4-1, so yeah, it was a solid win for the boys. We just had to get out wide, stop them getting out wide, and then just trap them in the middle, go down the snake, go down the Doritos, and, you know, pinch them out.
Next game was Apocalypse versus the X-Fighters. Both teams started out the day with a rough start and needed this win to have a chance to advance to the finals. In a long, drawn-out first point, Henry decides it's a good idea to stand out in the open. Shocking, doesn't work. Despite the dumb move, APOC wins a 2-on-1, giving them the first point. The next two were quickly won by the X-Fighters. APOC won the third game, and with a minute 18 left in the match, the two teams break out conservatively. With neither team having the advantage on the field, time runs out, leaving the score tied at 2-all. Now for some of the highlights from the semi-pro division. concludes our Saturday coverage of the first event of the 2012 Super 7 Series. Stay tuned for Sunday's coverage and see you at Event 2, May 19th and 20th.